Now, before we start, I know what you're thinking. Me making a video about another YouTuber, but I don't do that. That's not me. But the only time I will make a video about a YouTuber is when it interests me, one, and when I notice that people don't make a certain point that I feel is important. Now, obviously, there's a shitload of videos about Onision recently since the recent bullshit events with him, but a few people have mentioned it on the side, but they haven't like talked about it specifically, so that's what I'm gonna do right now. And actually, the points I'm gonna make in this video is actually the reason I don't like to make videos about other YouTubers as well. So I hope you watch the whole video. Now, as you know, Onision is a giant piece of shit. Will not argue with you there, but I think Onision is smart. Now you could say smart, you could say manipulative, it really just depends on the perspective of the situation, but either way, what he is doing is working. So what is he doing exactly? He is trolling everyone. Now, a case I could compare him to is Keemstar. However, Keemstar cares way too much about what people think about him. The only time I've ever seen him use the word troll is when he's trying to get out of a bad situation and then he's just blaming it on the fact that it was a troll, when in reality, it wasn't, and he was just being fucking stupid. But Keem says he's a troll more than he's actually a troll. But he cares way too much about what everyone thinks. I mean, sure, he's a piece of work, but he's not as bad as Onision. Onision is just an extremely interesting person, honestly. I mean, I can only compare him to a fucking robot. Lack of human emotion, and he doesn't give a shit about anyone.
I'd say 29, probably. Whoops, no, 15. What? It says most tend to guess close to my age, so it should be easy. Okay, you are 18. Nope, you're 23. This girl says the answer is yes, honey. Actually, the answer is not like that. You have to do something with yourself to make yourself pretty. Right now, you're wearing a sweatshirt. It's not pretty. Try again. This person looks like a young Hank Green, so I'm gonna say not pretty. This girl seems to have put about 0 effort into her appearance when effort is probably needed, so I'll say no. I don't know why you thought this was a pretty photo, but you should probably try taking a different one, because this one is not pretty.
He's just a numbers guy. He knows what to do to get the numbers, regardless of what he has to do. He is the perfect view machine. As you know, most people have integrity with their videos. They put a lot of passion into it. They love what they do. They want to put out what they want to put out. But Onision doesn't love what he makes. He just makes what people want to see regardless of how much people hate him or how much people think he's a piece of shit. To give you an idea of what I mean by this, I brought my friend, Deodor Anthony, to show some examples of what I'm talking about.
Onision. Bit of a dick if I'm honest. Of course he is. We all know that, but he is an increasingly relevant dick. You could say commentators hate him thanks to this one weird trick. To understand what I mean, let's look at one of his recent videos, I Quit Feminism. In it, he explains why he will no longer refer to himself as a feminist, but rather as an egalitarian. At base level, his reasoning for this is sound. He shows that the definitions for the labels are nearly identical, and that many of his points are being disregarded because of the negative connotations the word feminism carries. So, by avoiding taboo, he wants his points to reach further. Reasonable, right? Well, the way he presents this idea is interesting. His tone throughout the entire video is not only arrogant, but he is at peak arrogance during the most easily contested points. He says things like,
well, that's just basic logic that a lot of people, for some reason, just go brain dead when they're introduced to.
Here he is speaking about how feminism and egalitarianism have the same definition when looking at the words themselves, but anyone with 5 minutes of experience on the internet will tell you that these definitions are definitely not representative of the movements themselves. And I think it's safe to say that radical feminism is far more toxic than the non-existent radical egalitarian movement. I'm sure Greg knows this, but in using this hostile wording, he baits us into wanting to correct his smug arrogance. This is something that he time and time again does. He supposedly proves his point with his cold hard logic and emphasizes how irrefutable his point is. The fact he supposedly leaves no room for discussion is exactly what makes his videos have so much spread and response potential. This is honestly all because Greg is great at challenging people's pride. He doesn't look to change people's opinions, he looks to make those that disagree with him get angry and bring attention to him, and he is good at doing that. After the controversy of him making videos involving underage girls, he promptly made over 10 videos critiquing girls' bodies, including, "Are these girls legal? Guess their age." It doesn't take a genius to realize that this is blatant bait. More controversy is more attention, more clicks, and more growth. This is what nearly his entire career has been based on, whether it be Twitter or YouTube.
So why does he do this? Why does he do all these terrible videos, all these terrible things? Because he knows it will get a response. Before the whole little girl situation where he's making fun of girls' bodies, Onision's channel was not doing that great. And as a creator, a lot of times it's discouraging to see that your channel is really not doing good. But for Onision, it's not an option for his channel to not do good. I mean, this is what I was talking about before, his whole forum of people sending him pictures to rate them. It's mostly girls, but it's supposed to be for everybody, but it was, obviously it was mostly teenage girls. And then he makes a bunch of videos just bluntly calling people ugly, fat, and all that shit. Now, take a very strong note right here. This is legal. This isn't technically illegal. It's legal, and he knew it would piss off a lot of fucking people, and especially in the commentary community. And it did. It pissed me off too. But since we're talking about legality, this man is obsessed with the law. Now, honestly, I didn't really pay attention to this much. I didn't even realize it until I was on a podcast with Seer, and he told us that he only focuses on laws. He only abides by the laws. And after him saying that, it's so obvious now. He believes that if it's legal, it's moral, and if it's illegal, then it's immoral, which is a very fucked up way to think. Just the amount of different situations that morality would outweigh the law is ridiculous for him to only think that the law is moral. But that's the point I'm trying to make. He thinks that making this video about these girls, about rating these girls, it's legal. So he thinks it's okay, but at the same time, he knows that everyone does not have that mindset and it will piss off people. It's a checkmate because he doesn't feel guilty, but at the same time, he pisses off everyone in order to get a shitload of views and a shitload of attention out of it. And then video after video after video is made about Onision once again. Exactly what I'm doing right now. I am doing exactly what he wants me to do. I am giving him views, regardless of how little it is. I'm making a video and giving him attention. And so do so many other people. So does that mean everyone should just simply ignore the man, just leave him alone? No, because that's impossible. He has done things that are just impossible for any moral human to ignore. He has made so many videos and done so many things that are impossible to ignore. And it's not only that, but the people who make videos about him, it helps their channel. It gives them views and it just helps them grow. In a sick, fucked up way, his manipulation and his trolling is actually helping out a lot of channels. Which is why I want to make my point that I do think it's dumb that so many people complain about people making videos about them, telling them to ignore them. Because one, if you have morals, if you're a regular human, you get pissed off. You can't ignore that. And two, it helps out people's channels. Now, me personally, I don't like making videos about other YouTubers. And that's why I kind of wanted to make this video to kind of explain why I don't make videos about YouTubers by making a video about a YouTuber. I actually used to be that guy that didn't like when people made videos about other YouTubers. But then I realized how stupid I was being. There's just people out there like that you can't ignore. There is no fix for it, guys. At the end of the day, we just lived in a fucked up world, and sometimes you just have to accept it. So, does that make it okay for Onision to be doing this shit? Fuck no. It does not make it okay. He's a piece of shit. Fuck him. This man doesn't have morals. He abides by the law. It's fucking mental. But at the end of the day, guys, Every good story has a villain. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe to BionicPIG. The best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep me down.